Have you ever wondered what makes places cozy? If so, this video is for you. Before I can start explaining, I have to make a disclaimer. I have low architectural experience, yes I do have some, which is the fundament of this video. If you have any suggestions, then leave them in the comments. As 5% of you probably know, I built utopian cities in Minecraft. Take a look at the description, and I looked at my towns and compared them to the real world. And I have found some major differences that make my cities better, but less realistic. This is what actually inspired me to do this video in the first place. The first criteria that determines your comfort is the size of the square, or the ratio from buildings to square. If your square is too big, you'll feel like only a small part of the city. If your square is too small, you feel very cramped, so you'll have to find the perfect balance for your square. The second criteria I found is that your square needs to be not too full, but not too empty. You want to have some chaos in your square, or something that fills the air in. Examples of this are people, trees, lanterns, flowers, etc. If your square is empty, you will see the buildings better. While I do have to admit that does look good, it isn't cozy, which is the topic of this video. Something just as important are the buildings at your street or square. They should match each other and try to block sight. For example, if you're in a square, you don't want to see anything but buildings or decoration, even if it's needed. So try to block sight of other squares and open areas such as rivers or parks without trees. To enable that, try to make curved roads or don't build your houses in a straight line. And here's a mistake that I've made in the past. Try to use warm colors. Whenever you build something with cold colors, it will make the place look more uninviting, whereas compared to warm lighting, that looks inviting and friendly. To put it simple, use orange light instead of blue light. Here's something for real life. Try to make the square or street isolated from roads or paved bicycle lanes, because these surfaces usually require flat grounds. Also, it's not welcoming to see people going different speeds. For me, the most comfortable speed for squares is walking speed. Almost last, but definitely not least, is greenery. I cannot stress this enough. You need greenery. It naturally makes the place feel cozier. So try to add balconies with leaves or just plant trees, which count as chaotic decoration. I have also found some hidden criteria that don't feel essential enough to group with the others. For me, elevation also completely changes the feel. It takes your chaos to a third dimension. Another argument worth pointing out is the presence of people. For me, the coziest is when I'm with friends when compared to a crowded square. One thing worth pointing out is that you don't lose much coziness when leaving out the criteria. Most of the places I researched didn't fulfill all criteria. I actually sat down and researched for about 1.5 hours to find the perfect square, without success. I did find the perfect streets however, but there are too many of them, so I'll only mention one. The Schnorr in Brem or fake Hamburg. It isn't too big and it isn't too small. It's not full and not too empty, as there are countless trees, chairs, lanterns and benches. The streets are curvy enough so that you don't see any open spaces. The buildings match perfectly to one another. There are no cold colors to use. There are no cars or bicycles. There definitely is greenery, no matter if on or next to the buildings. Now I have to give credit where it's due. Thanks to Pixabay.com and its users so that I could get 95% of all this stock footage and music, thanks to Walking Willy for his Schnorr video. If you like this video, please subscribe. I want to become the Findrix with the most subs on YouTube. We are almost there.